When you are a light, it is very difficult to see yourself shine. I ask myself this question all the time. Do Beyonce know she Beyonce? And when I pull cards on that shit, it says no. And I just pulled a card on it. And guess what it said? No, she does not. When you are the sun, do you see the light that you give off? Or do you just exist as the sun? Part of this three-dimensional plane we call Earth and, you know, this reality that we've constructed is so designed in a way we don't feel it, okay? I get empowered by clients and fans all the time. They always telling me how great I am and how I do this and this, and all I'm thinking about is the next thing I gotta do to be great. So to me, I transmute the feeling of not knowing into motivation so that one day I will know, and that produces great work. Right? But for the average person who might not feel they have a huge mission on their life, how do you get that back? How do you feel good about yourself if you can't feel how you impact others? I consistently, through seasons 1 through 6 of my web show, I always asked in squad, I was like, how did I do? Did I do a good job? You want that comment? I'll never be able to watch myself in the same way that you're watching me right now. But I eternally want to know that feeling, right? I'm saying that to say this, as spiritualists, if it is difficult or impossible to feel your own light, we have got to consistently remind ourselves that we shine. I do this on default because of my spiritual practice, but I'm always in affirmations, incantations. There's always something in my brain boosting my morale, even in my hardest moments. And I've classified that as, you know, other beings that operate through and with me type of energy here. So let's just say somebody slapped me in the face. Bootz wants to yell and scream. Brandon wants to whoop your ass. First thing I'm going to tell you to do is you got to talk to yourself in the mirror to start off with. Okay. I mean, this is something I learned to do so long ago. It's just like second nature. I do it when I'm brushing my teeth, putting my makeup on, X, Y, and Z. And I didn't realize I did it until I talked to this client earlier this week. You got to self-talk yourself into consistently believing that you shine. It will become a vibration that is on autopilot in the back of your consciousness. So even in the darkest moments, you are the sun. Right? People ask me how you bounce back so fast. You know, I had devastating blows since I started this show. And I've expressed every last one of them to you. It is because that vibration has been sacramented by my grandmother since I was 8 years old. My middle name is King. My mother gave me that as my middle name instead of number 8, which is ironic. That was my number in the orphanage. I was child 8. Okay. Now that's why I say I hate figure 8 balls, and I'm not your figure 8 ball, and you're not gonna shake me up. And I got adopted at the age of 8. So maybe 8 is the number of completion. At least for me it is. For Christians it's the number 7. But that's numerology. That's a whole nother conversation, girl.
Running around talking.
Okay, Phaedra. I say that to say this. You got to remind yourself you shine, bitch. My mother, growing up, used to post quotes all over the house. Like, that say, you are loved. You are accepted. I have abundance. You got to consciously remind yourself. Or, darling, the shadows can overwhelm. And there's a whole lot more shadows out here now. It's about to be a big orange shadow next week. Yourself constantly. Number 2, do we all know who Paris Hilton is? I want you to pay attention to this video.
Your jacket, the sparkles are amazing.
I had a little bling here for today.
Yes. I wanted to find out who made it later.
But I think the most important thing is they need access to therapy, counseling, mentorship, and other community-based programs.
Your jacket, the sparkles.
Did you catch it? Now, most people who are feeble-minded and unspiritual would say, this bitch is fake as hell. She's been faking a dumbass bitch for her entire eternity, and now she want to go to court. She's talking about the jacket, and then she flips into another tone when she's talking about being serious. Ariana Grande does the same thing, and she catches herself do this, and it's a voice change. I reflected this in squad last night, and this is a way, okay, to remind yourself that you are the son. The Native Americans have this thing. There are 4 genders. There is male dominant, female dominant. There is two-spirited, which some could argue that I'm that. You also have transgender, and it's 5 multi-spirited beings, okay? Miss Hilton is a multi-spirited being. Go with me here. I have been decompartmentalizing my consciousness for as long as I remember. I have 88, there's the number 8 again, tarot cards that decompartmentalize elements of who I am as an individual, okay? If Brandon is downtrodden, Bootz will show up anyway. Bootz was born out of a need to break out of that shell. I don't know why that almost brought me to tears, but it did. I don't know. Bootz came the first day I went to college, right? I knew the energy was there. I didn't know how to embrace it, so I became someone else, right? I created something that was everything I wanted to be, and it became a part of who I am. And now that is an energy that vibrates within my consciousness. The Bible says, this is such an abstract concept, I hope it's not over your head. We have the creation ability of other gods, right? Right? So, if the Native Americans say that we have the ability to create multiple selves that handle things differently, even down to a voice change, right? Because everybody know Brandon talk like this. Even my posture just changed with that. Now, every decompartmentalization doesn't have a voice. That's a vibe. That's a vibe we created together on live. You see what I'm saying? But you need to consciously create other selves in your consciousness, whether they express themselves creatively or not, that can remind you, you shine. Understand, the accumulation of all of those decompartmentalizations is me, Bootz, who you see before you, right? Now, the aesthetic of her doesn't change, but I guarantee the Paris Hilton that talks with that low, deep political voice is not going to dress the same way as that high-pitched entity. That high-pitched entity was for entertainment. The real her is really trying to do work out here. She's a multi-spirited being. Nicki Minaj acts like a multi-spirited being. There is a difference. There is a difference. Nicki Minaj creates characters that she plays. Okay? This actually has a medical diagnosis called multiple personalities. But there's a fine line between genius and crazy. And if you look at my IQ, which one you think I am? Learned really early on in her career that people like the characterization of being a multi-spirited being. Nicki Minaj is one person, a bitch. It was just a joke. Barbs, please do not attack. I think I'm overdue for a battle with the Barbs, though. I think I'm overdue.